Hi, this is the part 3 to differentiate between a failover group and geo-replications. So today you have a meeting with customers and you try to explain the differentiate between a failover group and geo-replication, and he come with a question, with a great question, and you have to expect this question actually. Can I use the both option together? You can use, I mean here, flavor group and geo-replicate. We can use it together. Try to answer these questions. Yes, you can use both geo-replication and the failover group together to achieve a comprehensive high availability and disaster recovery solutions in Azure for a SQL database. So if the customer use failover group and geo-replication, this will be a good combinations because you can leverage the benefits of both options to achieve a high level of availability and data protections, even the event of disaster or unexpected disruptions. So let's take example here. You can use geo-replications here, as we explained it before, to replicate the data to a secondary regions. This one to replicate the to a secondary regions for disaster recovery, and we also using a failover groups to provide automatic failover within a single regions in the event of hardware failure or network outage. Sorry, for network outage, as we mentioned before. So if you use this approach with your customer, okay, can help the customer ensure that the SQL database are always available even in the event of the disasters, and can provide the customer the flexibility and scalability solution for high availability and disaster recovery. It can be customized to meet your customer specific needs. So let's give you like a test, or I give you like a scenario with your customer. So let's imagine now the customer ask you for three things, for three options. Okay, there's three options. Now he ask you during the session, the customer, he told you, I need now a host. I need to host database. He need to host database. Okay, on Azure SQL, on Azure SQL managed instance. Okay, the customer, he have on-premise, and he need to do migrations, or he need to host database on Azure SQL managed instance. So in this option, which of solution for high availability we shall use? Okay, so after you discover your customer, and you have to answer in the proper question. So let's explain again here. We have let's draw here for as we mentioned, first site, then this primary as we explained before, and this will be secondary site. Okay, and here we have SQL, and here we have SQL, and which option here we have a SQL manager instance here. So what we do, so if the customer need to host a database on Azure SQL instance, you would use a failover group for high availability. So we'll used here failover group. Okay, because failover group, we mentioned, maybe this will recap you for previous videos. If you not understand what I'm saying in the last videos, or not be clear, I will recap again. So the failover group in Azure SQL provide automatic failovers with a single, as we mentioned, single regions in the event of unexpected disruption, such as we mentioned, hardware failure or network outage. These solutions can help the customer to ensure that the database is always available, even in the event of disaster, and can be provide you with a flexible and scalable solution for high availability that can be customized, as we mentioned, for customer needs. So with failover group, you can set up a primary database, um, and we can set up a primary database and one or more secondary database. Okay, in the same regions, will be in the same regions. Okay. Um, and we can configure the system to automatically forward to the secondary database in case of unexpected disruption. So this solution provide a shorter RTO, as we mentioned before, shorter RTO. If we compare it to another option which we have it geo-replication. So if we need to a host database on Azure SQL managed instance, failover group would be the best option for a high availability. Okay, so let's go with another questions. So you have a customer case with your customer, and now customer he told you or give you another questions. I need to have a multiple multiple. So again, let's draw here. Let's take this one. Okay, also we have, sorry. Okay, we have secondary site, first primary site and secondary site. Okay, let's delete this one. This a secondary site. Okay, so the customer now he asks you, or we need readable copy of database. So we have a SQL here, and now the customer need readable copy. Customer, what is required for customer? He need readable copies of database. This is his requirement. Which option which go? He need a readable copy of database. So we have two options, as we mentioned. We have failover group or we have geo replication. So which option, if we need the readable copy of database, which option we have to go? So if you need, or the customer need, multiple readable copy of database, we should go with you say with me, with geo replications. Yes, you are right. Why? Let's recap again and let's explain again this point which we provided in the last two videos. Geo replication in Azure SQL allow you to replicate data. To replicate data to a multiple regions. Here single regions. Here multiple regions. So we can replicate our data to multiple regions and provide customer multiple readable copy. So we'll achieve the customer needs. So he gives the customer, he replicates the data and provides the customer the multiple readable copy of database that can be used for reporting or analysis or load balance. So with Azure replications, let's take read one. Okay. With Azure replication, you can set up a primary database, as we mentioned, okay, in one regions and one or more in secondary database regions. We can here SQL DB. So again, you can set up the primary database in one regions, and we can create or add one or more secondary database in others regions. So the primary the primary database automatically replicate data. It changes to a secondary database, which can be used for a read-only copy. Okay, so this solution with a geo replication provide you with a high level of data protections and availability, as well as ability to read data from multiple regions in near real time. So uh, if you have disasters in this time, you have to mention that for customers. If you have disaster or unexpected disruptions occurs in the primary regions, okay, in the primary region maybe will happen sometimes. So you can fill over to one or a secondary database in another regions, ensuring that your data is always protecting and available. So therefore, if you need to have a multiple, again, if you need a multiple readable copy of database, you should choose the geo replications for high availability. So let's imagine another scenario, or the last scenario we can see. So you talk with customer now, and the customer told you, okay, if I need to able to fill over database to secondary regions. Now again, let's take green again, or we can take this color. Okay, so again you have first regions, okay, and we have a secondary regions. This is primary, this is secondary. And what he need, customer, what we need, the customer, he ask you, I need to able to fill over database to secondary regions. I have SQL, I need to fill over to a secondary region. Which option, which I go? I go with fill over group, or I have to go with the geo replications? Try to imagine. Okay, the answer will be we have to go with, yes, boss, we have to go with a geo replication. Geo replication in Azure SQL will allow the customer to replicate data to multiple regions. Region 1, region 2, as per we region we selected. So geo replication for our SQL or for our ocean will allow us to replicate data to multiple regions and provide a multiple readable copy, as we mentioned before, of database, and we can provide it as we mentioned for maybe reporting, analyst, load balance. So as we explain, it will be a more flexible and will be the same readable and also longer for RTO. So I think with three options, it will be the matter will be clear. And if you still have any questions here for the differentiate between failover group or geo replication, please back to me anytime. Thank you for everyone.